In this tutorial, I would be sharing the sewing process of this notch collar jacket. In my previous tutorial, I shared the pattern drafting and the cutting process. So if you haven't seen that, I would advise you to go back to that video to watch it so that we all can be on the same page. My name is Ayomide, and on this channel, I post sewing tutorials and pattern drafting tutorials. Now let us jump into this tutorial. To begin the sewing process, I will just walk you guys through all of my fabric pieces. I've got the center front right here, and I've ironed in interfacing on the center front right from the shoulder to the underbust region. I've also got the side front, and I only ironed in interfacing around the bust area. This is my Revere collar, and I ironed in interfacing on both of the fabric that I would be using for the Revere collar. I've got my back fabric piece. This right here is the side back. I've got the main fabric and the lining, and here is my center back. I have my main fabric and also my lining. It is now time to join all of these beautiful pieces together. To proceed, the first thing I would do is to join the center front and the side front together, and here I am starting with the main fabric. I'm just going over to match up my notches, making sure that the underbust of the center front matches up with the underbust of the side front. This is why notching your fabric while cutting is good. It helps you to easily locate those crucial points. So after joining them, I'll just proceed to my sewing machine and sew it down. I'll also join the back fabric pieces down too. I'll do this for my main fabric and also for the lining. I am done with the process I just illustrated, and here is what my fabric piece is looking like. This is my back. I've joined all the four pieces of the back together. Also, I ironed my seam lines to make this look neat. Next thing I will do is to join both the front and the back along the shoulder only for now. So just proceed to my sewing machine and join it together only along the shoulder. For my Revere collar, this is the part that will be on the outside, and this right here is the part that would fit into the lapel. The other side of my collar is where I would be joining it along the neckline of both the front and the back. So what I'll do next is to place right sides of the collar against each other, and I would sew from one notch all the way to another notch, and I'm sewing along the edge of the collar that would be on the outside. I am done joining along the shoulder, and here is what it looks like. I've also worked on my Revere collar, and this is what it looks like. So the part that is out that I did not stitch is the part I'll be stitching to my neckline. Now to fix my Revere collar, this is where the Revere collar would intercept on the lapel. What I will do is to get the midpoint of my Revere collar. Next, I would match that midpoint to my center back. Then I would match that end of my Revere collar to where I have the notch on the lapel. I would then pin the remaining in between the neckline. In order to make this easy for me, I would create tiny notches around the neckline. I will also repeat the same process for the other parts of the neckline. I would create tiny notches on the neckline, and this will enable easy fixing of the Revere collar. Once I'm done, I'll proceed to my sewing machine and sew this down. After sewing, this is what it looks like. My jacket is already taking shape. You would also want to make sure that there are no wrinkles because sewing this collar down can get really tricky. It is now time to turn with the lining. So I'm placing my main fabric on the right side. I'll also grab my lining that I've joined along the shoulder. I'll place right sides against each other. First, I'm matching the lapel together. I'm just going over to match it around the Revere collar, making sure that the shoulder points match up together. Next, I would also make sure I sew it down around the open area on the front, turn it around the hem and also along the side. So in essence, I'll use my lining to turn the entire of this jacket, and this is what it looks like. At this point, I have given this jacket a really good press, and this is why it looks so neat at this point. So you would need to iron as you sew. What I'll do next is to join it together along the sides. So what I'll do is to mark out my seam allowance, proceed to my sewing machine, and then sew this down. After sewing it down along the sides, this is what my jacket is looking like. It is now time for me to fix the sleeve, and for this I'm just using a simple and a basic sleeve. I have gone ahead to cut it out and also sew it together along the hem and also along the sides. So what I'll do is to pin the sleeves together and then stitch it down, and I would have my complete jacket. And guys, here is the complete outfit. This is what it looks like when I place it on my mannequin. At this point, I have not fixed my buttons, but all I have to do next is just to create buttonholes and fix the button, and I have the entire jacket complete. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a huge thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, kindly click on the subscribe button below, turn on your notifications, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Goodbye.